Is a true crime community blog apocalypse coming on Tumblr? This is Murder Week, August 31st, 2018. Beginning with open issues from last week, Shasta Green. Shasta Green has a filing due today in her case regarding her house that the trust that was set up for her wants to sell. And in Did You Just Assume My Gender news, Chris Watts' alleged ex-lover has spoken out. But he's not the coworker police say Chris was seeing. An unnamed man Tuesday night came forward claiming to have been a former lover of triple murder suspect Chris Watts, who is accused of killing his pregnant wife, 34-year-old Shannon Watts, and their two young daughters in Frederick, Colorado earlier this month. My goodness. New business. As for new arrests and wild speculation, it has been a slow news week. In Clinton Township, Michigan, Robert Marzecka has been named a suspect in the murders of his sister and her boyfriend. Police Monday night said authorities are searching for Marzecka's older brother, Robert Leo Marzecka, as a suspect in the double homicide. A serial 911 caller has been arrested in Wichita County, Texas. Holy crap, guys. Don't abuse 911. Don't abuse whatever else this guy was abusing. And in Superior, Wisconsin, Matthew Robert Lohr says he was going to his workplace at YDOT to kill everyone. Doesn't sound very superior to me. He allegedly sent threatening emails that referenced mass shootings to his coworkers at the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. In legal news, starting in Victoria, Australia, with Paul Stephen Hay currently serving 6 life sentences for obvious reasons. He uses tarot in prison as a contemplative doorway and spiritual tool, an abstract mythical illustration of an otherworldly female character, displayed breasts, and the prison feels as though breasts are pornographic or objectionable. Hamilton, Ohio serial killer Anthony Kirkland has been sentenced to death. Hamilton County Judge Patrick Dinklacker told Kirkland he had no regard for human life and imposed the death penalty. Serial child killer Mary Beth Tinning has been released in Bedford Hills, New York, after her 20-year sentence for killing her 4-month-old daughter. Mary Beth Tinning was released from Taconic Correctional Facility in Bedford Hills Tuesday and will return to live in Schenectady. A sister of one of the victims of Grindr serial killer Stephen Port from East London suggests that police would have acted earlier if his targets had been women. This is the sister of Jack Taylor, who was one of 4 men who was drugged with a lethal amount of GHB and killed by this guy. Finally, Todd Kolep's property auction was this week. Todd Kolep, you'll remember, killed 7 people in South Carolina.
Todd Kolep's items went up for auction. We're talking a gun safe, power tools, furniture, office supplies were among the inventory. The auction ran for several days and closed yesterday evening.
And our top story in killer-related news, Tumblr has released new content guidelines, and as a result, a lot of the true crime-related blogs will probably be banned. More info on which blogs and what the community intends to do will be coming after the purge on September 9th. They will target blogs that glorify murders, porn, gore, right, fiction, and promote violence, according to 2 true crime community-related discords. Fiona Pender was 25 when she disappeared from her flat in Ireland, and her brother John has made a documentary about her that I would love to share in the comments or the description, but I cannot find it. John Pender said the 23-minute film in which he opens his heart about losing his brother, sister, and father within the space of 5 years was not easy to make, but he added he hopes My Sister Fee, which he has shared on social media, will keep her case in the public eye and help him get justice for her. Me too. Snapped Notorious is doing the BTK Killer. Under the guise of the BTK Killer, Dennis Rader heinously murdered 10 people over the course of 17 years. We all know who he is. How exciting. All right, Lestat. In this special on the Watts murders, we look at resources available to you. We look at what we know up to this point. The first thing you've got to know is that there's a Wikipedia page, Death of the Watts Family. Timeline, what happened before Shannon Watts and her daughters went missing. Now, this is everything we know up to the 17th of August. So we're looking at just a few days after the murders. She was charged on the 21st. He was arrested on the 15th. The family has strong ties to North Carolina. Shannon's from Moore County, attended Pinecrest High School in Southern Pines. Her family lives in North Carolina. Christopher went to Pine Forest High School in Fayetteville, graduated in 2003. Joe Duty was Christopher's former teacher, said he was punctual. I always wondered why he was so quiet. Quiet people, I'm sorry, I had to put that in there. Shannon Watts met her husband Chris online during a dark period. She famously has a Facebook Live video. Hopefully that's still in my links. She said that he saved her life.
Hey everybody, say hi. Say hi.
Home videos show what seemed to be a loving and happy all-American family.
He was the one for me, and he is amazing. And I can't tell you how wonderful he is.
Shanann talked about how she met her husband when he friended her on Facebook.
One thing led to another, and 8 years later, we have 2 kids. We live in Colorado, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
All right, so hopefully I got that Facebook Live video in there. And here's another video from early on in the couple's relationship. This is accused and obviously guilty murderer Chris Watts gave a speech about relationship repair years before killing his pregnant wife and 2 young daughters.
My name is Chris Watts. I'm doing my communication speech for Brenda Armentrout, and welcome to Broomfield, Colorado. Would be if you met somebody at work or a new friendship has occurred, and you, as it goes on, you see that, okay, maybe this relationship has more potential than the relationship I have with my partner. And that would gradually push the old relationship out.
Oh my goodness.
Push the new relationship in.
Of course. Links in the description, by the way, guys. According to the Coloradan, friends, neighbors, social media describe their family as perfect. All right, it's fake news time. Time to get into the fake news that's surrounding this case. Nicole Kessinger is supposedly Chris Watts' mistress. However, there's a boatload of fake news about her, beginning with, and I have this in my notes, Anna Darko cheated on Chris Watts with Jonathan Lee Riches in Aurora, Colorado, is a fake news headline. Jonathan Lee Riches is apparently a professional internet troll. Notice in the Nicole Kessinger links before you, there are links to an actual person named that from Intellius, which is a background check company, and any blogs that involve the murderer are generally blogs. They're not news sites, so they're probably getting their information all from the same place. People v. Christopher Lee Watts, and he's got the case number. Presumably, this is a name that is associated with the case. Apparently, anything involving Jonathan Lee Riches is fake news. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong about that. This is a topics blog. The identity of Chris Watts' mistress was discussed. Gaydar from Huntersville, North Carolina, suggests that maybe he has a mistress. Good point. Why is everyone assuming that it's a female? The police said so. Oh, yeah, of course. So that's when this Nicole woman's name got thrown around, and she is a witness. She had lupus. What a shame. Shannon Watts was expecting a baby boy before her death. She named him Nico Lee.
Guess what, girls? Mommy has a baby in her belly. Are you guys excited? Yeah. Yes? Are you really excited? Oh my goodness. Come give me hugs. Oh. I love you, girl.
I got the baby a hug.
You want to give the baby a hug? I love you, Bella. You're so sweet. Give me a kiss.
Mommy.
Yes.
But hey, guess what? Plot twist. It might have been a guy that he was seeing outside of work there. And this is on Yahoo. Who is Chris Watts' male lover? Well, he wants to stay anonymous. Came forward on Tuesday night after being tracked down by Headline News, Crime and Justice. Banfield actually got to talk to him. We'll see that later. They didn't work together. They met online. Hello, Grindr. Is he for real? But this is the video of Chris Watts' alleged lover, and that brings us up to today.
possible motive behind the murders of Shanann Watts and her 2 girls.
A new bombshell interview possibly shedding light this morning on what may have been a double life led by Chris Watts. In an interview on CNN, a Loveland man is claiming to have been Chris's secret lover.
The man wants to stay anonymous, but says he met Chris on an app, the app Meet Me, and that they chatted online for a while before finally meeting in person, where he says Chris spilled his feelings to him.
I just want to go on record saying I don't know if any of it's the truth, but he told me that he was the victim of emotional and verbal abuse, and he was trapped in a loveless marriage, and he didn't know any way out because of the kids.
Chris Watts is charged with murdering his pregnant wife Shanann and their 2 daughters.
I'm the unopened parachute, and I make videos. I'm teaching myself how to use all this new technology to try to stay relevant in 2018 in my middle age. So please leave comments and like and subscribe if you like my videos, because all I'm doing it for is to generate some content for you guys. Hope you like it.